On May 14, 2026, Xi Jinping personally escorted Donald Trump into the Temple of Heaven. Trump was the first American president to walk through those gates in 51 years since Gerald Ford in 1975. Ford only got there because of one secret trip, 4 years earlier. In April 1971, after 22 years of silence, Mao invited an American table tennis team to Beijing. A public signal? He was ready to talk. 3 months later, Henry Kissinger, Nixon's national security advisor, was visiting Pakistan when he claimed to be sick. It was a cover story to keep the press away. He slipped onto a secret Chinese flight and met Mao's premier, Zhou Enlai, in Beijing. He was there because two communist giants had turned on each other. By 1969, the Soviet Union and China were firing across their border. Moscow had threatened a nuclear strike on China's weapons sites. Nixon and Kissinger saw their chance, split the communist bloc, and trap the Soviets. Kissinger laid the groundwork. 7 months later, in February 1972, Nixon flew to Beijing, the first American president to set foot in communist China. Mao Zedong, frail and 78, received him for 1 hour. The week of negotiations that followed was handled by Premier Zhou Enlai. Mao was too frail. On February 27th, they signed the Shanghai Communiqué. In a single sentence, the United States acknowledged, there is but one China, and Taiwan is part of China. That sentence became the One China policy. Every American president has reaffirmed it since. On January 1st, 1979, Jimmy Carter formally recognized the People's Republic. After 30 years, both countries had embassies. A month later, China's new leader, Deng Xiaoping, came to Washington. At a Texas rodeo, Deng put on a cowboy hat. The photo ran on every American front page. Back home, Deng launched reform and opening up. Special trade zones along the coast. American factories invited in. In Washington, a theory took hold. Trade with the West would make China more like the West. Democracy would follow money. For 10 years, money flowed. Then on June 3, 1989, the Chinese army drove tanks into Tiananmen Square in Beijing. Students had occupied it for 7 weeks, demanding democracy. By morning, hundreds, and possibly far more, were dead. The next day, one man stopped a column of tanks with his shopping bags. His name was never confirmed. Congress demanded America cut China off. Instead, President George Bush secretly sent Brent Scowcroft, his national security advisor, to keep the relationship alive. 9 years later, Bill Clinton went to China for a week. Standing next to China's President Jiang Zemin on live Chinese television, Clinton called the army's attack wrong, uncensored. In return, the two countries called each other strategic partners. 3 years later, the deal Clinton signed put China into the World Trade Organization, opened China to American business, and China would open itself to American values. That was the bet. Every president from Nixon to Obama made the same bet. It would take until 2018 for one of them to break it. Follow for part 4.